The Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority recently published its annual report. It's a chance to look back at the successes of 2021 and also to look forward to what is being referred to as next generation conservation. CAO Chandra Sharma is with us today. Chandra, to begin, you set a record for attendance last year, and a lot of people might look at that and think, how was that possible during a pandemic?
Well, thank you, Mike. First of all, thanks for having me. And you're right, 2021 was a challenging yet very rewarding year because you've seen the attendance at our parks it just keeps growing. And you can contribute that to two factors, I would say. One is the pandemic, because people have just discovered the need for green space and environment and how important it is for their well-being. So that could be one. And the second is, our growth. The more and more people are coming to Niagara,
True.
and people from surrounding areas are discovering Niagara. And that is why I say the importance of the conservation parks and green space that we own is so critical for the communities, and we are seeing it every day. Over the past 3 years I've been here, I've seen substantial growth in that attendance to our parks. Yeah.
Another success in 2021, rehabilitation of some forests, reforesting in some of them. We took part in one of those here with The Source, and these are really feel-good events involving some volunteers.
I mean, yes, you're right, they're feel-good events, but they're also so important for the watershed. And when you restore the watershed, you have to really, science comes into play. What to restore, where to restore, what to plant, and how to do that. And of course, the final touch is the community, engaging as many people as possible in those activities. So it's educational, it raises public awareness. As you know, our restoration program was started in 2019 when my predecessor, Gail Woods, came into
Yes.
NPCA. And we have a small team of staff. We have taken that program forward. I think there's a huge need for this type of a program in Niagara, working with our municipal partners to enhance our forest cover, our wetlands, our riparian areas, and by riparian areas I mean the edge or the shoreline of the rivers and the Lake Ontario and Lake Erie both. So that was a big success last year, and the program continues to grow. We are developing the next generation of that program as to what that program, our restoration work in the next 10 years will look like in Niagara.
And do we know what kind of things will be happening in those 10 years?
I mean, we're still in the process of looking at where our needs are, but I can tell you from my understanding and knowing what other conservation authorities have been able to accomplish, there will be component of private land plantings, helping people restore their own properties. There'll be components of large-scale projects to restore our wetlands and forest habitat. We are in the Carolinian zone. Our watershed is very unique. We have Niagara Escarpment, right, and part of the Greenbelt as well, right? So it is important to have a very robust program that covers a range of tools and activities and range of geography to be able to support and build the natural infrastructure we need. We are going to look at urban canopy, in our growing communities, in our urban areas. What do we need? We're going to look at forest interiors. So we will apply real science. We'll engage all levels of governments, community, and all type of habitat.
There have been some changes in the Conservation Act that govern what the NPCA and other conservation authorities are responsible for and how they can do it. We also have a government that was re-elected that really seems to be pushing things like the 413, twinning the Skyway. these kinds of things could also, and not knowing where that will be in 5 years or 10 years from now, does it make it difficult to make those plans for the future?
We've finished our strategic plan, as you know. Last year was both rewarding and challenging, as you can see, but the title of our annual report is Aspiring for the Next Generation of Conservation. It sends 3 critical messages, really, that we have propelled the organization forward through hard work with a very agile and hardworking team and a very supportive board of directors, that we have set our ambition and goals and aspirations really high. If you look at the strategic plan that was completed last year, it tells the story of where the organization needs to go in the next 10 years. And then finally, that we need to work with our partners, to achieve those outcomes that we are. And talking about partners, I'm talking about all levels of governments. The Conservation Authority Act changes are mostly, I would say, 90% completed. The new regulations are out, and we're working on the transition with our municipal partners at the local level. And I mean, in the years to come, we will see how we can collectively work with everyone to achieve the best outcomes on ground. We are a grassroots agency, right? We are a science agency. So evidence-based decision-making really matters. So we are building a team. We are setting up this. NPCA is going through a lot of changes. We are setting up a monitoring program. We are updating our mapping. We are bringing the best experts to the organization to augment a very professional and expert team we have, so we can support our municipal partners and the community and other agencies in making the right decisions, using the right science, and achieving the best outcomes on ground. Yeah.
And all of that remaining flexible to what comes your way.
Absolutely, you have to be prepared for everything. So there's a way to deal with that, and yeah, we are prepared. Yes.
Chandra, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks a lot for having me, and I really want to thank our communities for their patience, your listeners, the support they have provided to Conservation Authority. And hopefully, the numbers tell the story, 900 volunteer hours and 75 organizations working with us. Hopefully with that support, we'll do bigger and better things in the coming years.